Good morning, brothers and sisters. For those tuning in online and individuals who made the time in person to come here, thank you for joining us in this righteous fight for housing and for the working class. My name is Jacob Adiyardi, and I am the Director of Organizing for the NorCal Carpenters Union. Today we are gathered here at the west side steps of the state capitol with our friends in housing, elected officials, members of the public, Carpenters Union members from all over the state of California, and our friends at SEIU. Give me a shout. That's right. We are here to express our continued support for Assembly Bill 2011, the Affordable Housing and High Road Jobs Act. This bill advances all of state's housing goals, allowing every community to build more climate-friendly, infill, affordable housing for struggling families, seniors, workers, and veterans, while also elevating the working class construction workforce who build housing. Here to tell us more about AB 2011 and the importance of this bill, a prime example as a leader in labor, the EST of Southern California Carpenters Regional Council, Pete Rodriguez.
Buenas tardes, carpinteros. Buenas tardes, californianos. Good afternoon, carpenters. Good afternoon, California. How we doing today? Special shout out to SEIU. How about you guys coming in shoulder to shoulder? El pueblo unido, California. ¿Estamos unidos, sí o no? Les pregunto que si estamos unidos. Right, United California can build better. Again, my name is Pete Rodriguez. I'm the EST of the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, representing 60,000 carpenters, which gives us about 200,000 belly buttons that we're responsible for. And I'm here to tell you that we're ready to build some housing in California. We're ready to build a better California, one roof at a time, over our communities. AB 2011 is a pro-worker bill that will help all workers building our housing projects. They'll earn a good prevailing wage, they'll have some health care, and they'll also have an opportunity to retire one day. Truth be told, that AB 2011 will give a carpenter an opportunity to actually live in the home that they're building. It's a pro-development bill as well. Let's be sure that when we develop within our communities, that the folks that are actually building them have an opportunity to live in them, like I said. Maybe one day, maybe, just maybe, a carpenter, a blue-collar worker in California, maybe we can become Little League coaches again. Maybe, just maybe one day we'll be able to make our daughters recital versus sitting there behind a steering wheel driving 2 hours to get to and from work. We agree with that? Those are the bare essentials to be a Californian. Those are the bare essentials to be an American citizen. And I believe that I speak for everybody in this area right now. We're just trying to do the best we can. Live the best American dream that our parents had for us. And in order to move forward together, we gotta be able to build housing. And that housing has to be affordable for everybody, straight across the board. California, we know firsthand the impact that housing has on working families. Last year alone, housing prices in Southern California rose more than 16%. The average price of a home today in California is $800,000. Don't ask a residential carpenter if they're able to qualify for one of them homes. The only thing that the residential carpenter will tell you is that they're probably getting paid in cash. They wouldn't be able to qualify to even apply to buy one of them homes. Why? Because you have to have proof that you were actually working here in order to apply. And when you're sharing a check with another group of workers, when the chances are that you've been trafficked here in order to continue to work, you work for a coyote, you got to give a kickback, there's no way in hell that you could even apply to live in some of the housing we have here in California. The moment is now. El tiempo es ahora. ¿Estamos juntos? El tiempo es ahora. AB 2011 makes it easier and affordable and with workforce housing. At the same time, it raised the labor standards so that workers can actually work with some dignity. Yeah. AB 2011 makes good sense for all of us in California. We can't continue to kick the can down the road. We need to be a part of the solution of building better jobs that have great wages and have great benefits. It's time that we say stop to labor exploitation. It's time that we kick the coyotes down the street and tell them to go kick rocks somewhere else. Yeah. This is a historic coalition that's formed with developers, our partners in labor, housing advocates, and community groups. And I want to say thank you to everybody for standing shoulder to shoulder with the Carpenters in California as a whole. Let's give yourself a round of applause. So enough with that. In order to get housing done, we need leadership. And right now, I'd like to introduce the next speaker. Many here don't remember that Speaker Rendon, as a first-term assembly member, authored Proposition 1, the $8 billion water bond, the largest water infrastructure package in decades. Yeah. That put thousands and thousands of carpenters to work. Oh, yeah! It was timely then, and as we all know now, it's mission critical for California. It was a tough, complex, hard-fought piece of legislation, especially for a freshman legislator. 2 years later, Mr. Rendon was elected Speaker of the Assembly, a job well earned and well deserved. Nice. Yeah! We want to thank him for stepping up early in the process for AB 2011. Like Prop 1 water bond provides, AB 2011, the support for next generation things that need to get done in California housing. In the Carpenters, we recognize how important it is to measure twice and cut once, and AB 2011 makes the cut. In fact, Speaker Rendon makes the cut. Mr. Speaker, your leadership, your speakership has never wavered in your support for California working families, las familias de California. No matter how political winds are blowing, you're there. Right now, we desperately need housing. We desperately need your help. California's housing construction workers need help more now than ever. Thank you, sir, for echándole ganas, for being shoulder to shoulder and putting your shoulder to the wheel. We thank you for being with us. Mr. Speaker, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Pete's had his coffee this morning. That's obvious. My God, I don't know how I keep pace with that. He started by talking about belly buttons, and it just kept going from there. But I want to thank Pete and the Carpenters for all of the. Where'd you go? Right here. So there he is. I thought he was sailing the Capitol by now. But the Carpenters throughout this fight have been incredible partners. So thank you to all the Carpenters. Thanks for everything you've done throughout the state on this bill. It's great to see SEIU here. When we think about housing, we want to make sure that we have housing for all Californians. We want to make sure we have housing, even those folks who are members of organized labor are having problems these days in terms of making sure they can meet their rent and making sure they can meet their mortgages. It's important to have SEIU as a partner. Thank you, SEIU, for being here. The Housing Consortium is here. Every single group involved in housing who cares about housing in this state is here today. Our fighter, our warrior, our housing chair, Buffy Wicks, is here. She's been fighting hard. Buffy's a good name to chant because it has 2 syllables. Let's see what you can do with Tim. Can you say chant Tim? It doesn't sound as good. It doesn't. How about Timmy? How about say Timmy? Timmy Grayson, the first time he's ever been called Timmy in his life. Tim Grayson has been making sure that the issue of housing has been on the map of the Assembly for the last couple of years. Thank Tim Grayson for being here. You know, for all of us in the Assembly, for all of us in the legislature, this is a very simple issue. When Pete talks about making sure that we have housing for everybody's belly button, when he talks about making sure that every single person in this state has not only a place to live, but an affordable place to live, right? A place where you don't have to work 3, 4 jobs and get home at 9, 10 o'clock. What is so important for us is to make sure that before we gavel down on August 31st of this year, before we leave for the year, that we've done something important to ensure that Californians are going to have more housing. Right. There's a lot that we can do, but the best thing that we can do is make sure that AB 2011 gets passed. So I thank you for your help thus far, but we got a long way to go. Keep up the fight, and thank you very much.
All right.
Next, we have a special person, the author of AB 2011, Assembly Member Buffy Wicks. She represents D15, District 15, is part of the East Bay, this California State Assembly, elected in 2018 and re-elected in 2020. Her district spans the communities of Oakland to Richmond and includes the city of Berkeley. She is a lifelong community organizer and a champion for housing, working tirelessly to bring housing in abundance to the state of California. Join me in welcoming Assembly Member Buffy Wicks.
How are you guys doing? Are you guys sick of me yet? No! Well, I'm definitely not sick of you. That's for sure. I know that when I'm with the Carpenters, I'm fighting alongside the Carpenters. I'm in the right fight. Yeah! I know that when I'm shoulder to shoulder with SEIU, I'm in the right fight. Yeah! I know that when I'm with CSCA, our school employees union, when I'm alongside them, I'm in the right fight. Yeah! So, as y'all know, we have a housing crisis in this state. Yeah. We can solve this problem. Yeah. We have put people to the moon. We can solve this problem. Yeah. We just have to decide that we're going to do that. That's right. And we need leadership. And I want to thank Speaker Rendon for his leadership on this bill. I think he may have gone off, but another cheers for Anthony Rendon on this bill. Thank you for 2011. And I want to thank the Carpenters, I want to thank SEIU, I want to thank CSCA, I want to thank the Housing Consortium, and the dozens and dozens of other organizations that are standing with us saying, we have to have affordable housing now. Right. Who wants affordable housing? We do! Who wants housing we can afford? We do! Who wants to house our homeless folks? We do! Who wants good paying jobs? We do! Who wants health care? We do! Let's pass AB 2011! Yeah! So we have 1 month left. It's our first day back. We all just had a little break. Some of us legislators are a little rusty. But we're going to get back in the swing of things. We have until August 31st, as the Speaker said, to pass this bill and put it on the governor's desk for his signature. Yeah! Sign the bill! 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 So I just want to thank you all. And over the next 4.5 weeks, I want you to fan out across this building. I want you to fan out across this state. I want you to go to district offices. I want you to hold people like me's feet to the fire on this bill. Yeah. That is your job. We represent you. You guys are the boss. Don't ever forget that. Yeah. You're the one that needs to demand the change from people like me. So let's go out there and do that. Let's pass this bill. Here's to AB 2011. Yeah. 2011. Thank you.
advance, AB 2011. Our next speaker, representing District 14, served in office as Assembly member since 2016. He has focused his energy on issues related to California's housing and transportation crisis. He knows a bill like AB 2011 is a monumental step in addressing those issues. Join me in welcoming a longtime supporter of labor and a friend of the Carpenters Union, Assembly member Tim Grayson.
Timmy is fine. What an absolute honor it is to be here with the Carpenters. California is deep, deep in a housing crisis, but the Carpenters are coming to rescue and to find the right solution. The Carpenters' voice is making a huge, huge difference in the issue of housing, but it is your action that is actually making a reality come true for a lot of folks to be able to have housing that's affordable. So thank you for your work, Carpenters. However, what good is it and what headway have we made if we build all the housing in the world and our laborers can't afford the housing? That's right. We have to have the right policies in place. We have to have the right protections in place, and we have to have the right solutions right where they need to be, so that not only do laborers have an opportunity to afford housing, they actually have an opportunity to own housing. Yeah! So with that said, again, Carpenters, your voice is making a difference, and your actions are causing dreams to become reality for so many Californians. Thank you for your tenacity. I want to honor the author of the bill. You have one of the most tenacious authors in the Capitol, Buffy Wicks, a great, great leader amongst her colleagues, and also Speaker Rendon for all the work that he's doing. Now we look to the governor to show the support that we need for affordable housing in California.
Sí se puede, 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 sí se puede.
Our next group is the Construction Employers Association, one of our premier associations here in Northern California. They represent approximately 100 of the premier unionized contractors who perform building construction work in Northern California, many of whom who work in the residential sector, employing thousands of workers who will benefit from a bill like AB 2011. Join me in welcoming Ginny Smith.
I have a two-syllable word. Okay. The Construction Employers Association represents many of the largest builders in California, as Jacob said, contractors who employ and subcontract to more union members in Northern California than any other group.
Yeah.
Our contractors build offices, schools, hospitals, and other non-residential buildings. But we also include major builders of apartments and especially affordable housing.
Yeah.
If people can't afford to live in California, businesses will grow elsewhere, and our state will stagnate. And attempts to build millions of new homes in California will not succeed unless we elevate pay for those building housing. Our employers recognize that you can't attract high-quality workers with low, unfair wages and no health or retirement benefits.
That's true.
CEA strongly supports AB 2011 because it will help solve both California's tremendous housing needs and construction labor supply issues. By redeveloping properties that are badly in need of redevelopment, we will revitalize communities and inject funds into local and state government coffers, which will then be able to better invest in crumbling infrastructure and aging schools. As business owners, our members know that they thrive when communities thrive. High road jobs are at the center of CEA Contractors' business model. Contractors need a strong, stable, and skilled workforce to deliver homes, schools, hospitals, and offices. Skilled workers won't fall out of trees just when contractors need them. In partnership with the Carpenters Union, we invest in cultivating a skilled workforce through apprenticeships and good wages and benefits.
That's right.
Oh, yeah!
Too many of our housing competitors attempt to win work on the backs of workers. We reject business practices that hold workers back.
That's right. Yeah.
AB 2011 will create a path to many more homes and good jobs. Shoulder to shoulder with the Carpenters Union, the Construction Employers Association is ready to help pave the high road, with the destination being a thriving future for the people and businesses of California and the workers.
Our next speaker, Marina Wyant, VP of Governmental Affairs of the California Housing Consortium. CHC represents a statewide coalition of affordable housing providers committed to increasing access to housing for lower-income Californians who can't keep up with the rising rents. Marina plans, directs, and coordinates all activities related to the development of CHC's policy positions and is enthused by the opportunity she has to speak as a co-sponsor to this important legislation. We're happy that she was able to join us today.
Thank you. I'm very proud to be with all of you today. Since this bill was introduced, the coalition only keeps growing. Every day we're attracting more groups like you fighting for affordable housing for lower income Californians and more workers who recognize this is a unique chance to create tens of thousands of stable, well-paying jobs in every community.
Right.
Like a lot of people in this state, I share both of these priorities. My grandfather was an immigrant who spent a long career as a union house painter in the Bay Area. That job with good pay, health care, and a pension is what allowed our family to move into the middle class, buy a home, and for me to go to college. It's given me a chance to spend my career fighting for affordable housing and the same steady, well-paying, high-road jobs for the next generation of Californians. We all know how much work there is to do on both fronts. Our state is facing a shortfall of 1.2 million homes affordable to the state's lowest income families. More than 160,000 Californians live on the streets every night. But statewide, we're building under 20,000 affordable housing units per year, and we can do more. The only way to close them is by finding new sites to build on, accelerating approvals, getting workers on the job, and shovels in the ground. AB 2011 is key to getting us there, and on behalf of the California Housing Consortium, I am so proud to say that we're co-sponsors of this important legislation with the California Carpenters. The bill's official name is the Affordable Housing and High Road Jobs Act, and I know I speak for everyone in the affordable housing community when I say, let's do both. Let's start now, and let's do it together.
That's right, let's do it together. So the housing crisis doesn't only affect those in construction. It also affects those that are home care workers, like those represented by Local 2015 SEIU. I have the opportunity to introduce an individual who is a 7-year member, rank and file member of SEIU. She lives in Solano County. She is a home care worker, serves on the E-Board, and she knows the effects of the housing crisis that it has on the home care workers here in Northern California and other members represented by Local 2015 SEIU. So join me in welcoming Sherry Williams.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Sherry Williams. I'm a proud caregiver. My clients know that I'm there for them, to keep them safe, to keep them through the month, and to make sure they have bread in their pantry and milk on their fridge. Nice. I am here on behalf of more than 700,000 of my SEIU union sisters and brothers caregivers, social workers, librarians, janitors, and more. And every single one of us affected by the issue of housing costs in this state. California works great for millionaires or billionaires. California works great if you never worried about making the rent or you don't know the price of a gallon of milk.
That's right.
And you don't even get me started about the gas. But for SEIU members, for carpenters, and for all working Californians and our families, the cost of housing is devastating. My union has made affordable housing a top priority because we can win huge gains at the bargaining table and have every penny taken away in rent check. Because too many of us, like myself, are locked into overcrowded housing and don't have any place to go. We are stuck. I live in a one-bedroom apartment with my mother, whom I care for, and it's tight. I have no social life. What is social life? What is that? I make $2,500 a month. A two-bedroom apartment costs us $2,800, and that's decent housing. I can do the math. Now, there's nowhere to go. Both my mother and I have been on affordable waiting lists for years, only to be disappointed, and time and time again, we want $30 for a check on you, and then we're going to pocket the money.
That's right. That's right. Bracket.
In fact, in a recent study we conducted in our union, 41% of my union sisters and brothers reported that they have to live in cars, shelters, friends' apartments, overcrowded housing, or live so far from work that they have to commute for more than 2 hours.
Not right.
That's not right. Something has to change. Something will change because we are working together. You build homes, and as caregivers, we will build homes too. We have to work together. We're going to pass AB 2011 and build a better California, one that works for all of us. So let's do this together. Thank you.
Sign the bill.
Yeah, let's go.
Included in 2011 is also some very important legislation around enforcement, on making sure that we hold those unscrupulous employers accountable for their actions, those that affect the residential sector, of really pushing down on those individuals that work in that industry. One of the individuals who's a member of 96CAL here in NorCal, represented by the NorCal Carpenters Union, Julian Ramirez, is an apprentice carpenter who was a victim of the underground economy that runs prevalent in that residential sector. He's here today to tell his story and the importance of this bill that it has in holding those employers, some that he worked for, accountable for their actions. Julian Ramirez.
Good afternoon. My name is Julian Ramirez. I am a proud union apprentice and member of Drywall Lathers Local Union 9068.
Yeah.
However, this was not always the case. Prior to joining the Carpenter Union, I worked in a residential housing construction, making $12 an hour in San Francisco. This was not a living wage. To make matters worse, our boss quit paying us but expected us to continue working, always promising that we would get our money tomorrow or next Friday. When we decided we couldn't take it anymore, we filed wage claims with the state. We won our case. 33 workers unpaid wages, no breaks, and waiting time penalties. We also figured out that the owner of the company was committing workers' compensation fraud. We were so happy we felt that justice had been served. Finally working, people got a break, but to date, 7 years later, none of us has seen a dime of money we earned through the hard work. The contractor filed bankruptcy and left us with nothing. Now with the union, I have protections. I have health care for myself and my family, a pension for when I'm ready to retire, prevailing wages so I can afford to live, and as soon apprentice, I am learning to skill trade and will soon be journeyed out to continue my career. So why can't others enjoy these wages and benefits? So many hardworking people are going without the basic needs. It's time for everyone to benefit from their hard work. The bill protects workers so they don't suffer the way me and my family did. Thank you.
Thank you, brother, for sharing your story. Our last and final speaker is a man who needs no introduction. A fearless labor leader, a die-hard organizer, and an individual who backs down from nothing. He is our Executive Secretary Treasurer here for the NorCal Carpenters, representing 30,000 members, men, women, around Northern California, 22 different local unions. Please give a shout for our EST, Jay Bradshaw.
Got that, Jake? Just attack me with the mic. Brothers and sisters, it is my honor to be here today. I want to start out by saying, when we heard from Sister Williams and Brother Ramirez, that gets to the heart of it. Much more than statistics, much more than the challenges we see every day, though they're interconnected, but the real life stories of the working class in California. What is going on and what has been going on for decades is a crime. Call it what it is. We have to be honest with each other, and then we have to be honest with those in power. If we're going to bring real change. And the reality is, for your average housing worker in an industry that's 90% unorganized, they are subjected to an economic crime scene of human trafficking, cash pay, no benefits, labor brokers, and threats of deportation. Like that massive workforce of tens of thousands of workers, primary immigrant workers, don't count, although they're the ones building the housing that we all need, just not building enough housing. They deserve a raise. Am I right? You hear the story from the members of SEIU living in their cars right after they get their master agreement negotiated for their industries. You hear the story of Sister Williams, which talks about the cost. And we are in the same boat. There is not only a housing crisis in California, there is a transportation crisis. Why? There is no housing being built for working class folks. And they have to travel 2 and 3 hours each way to get to the job centers. We need millions of housing units built in California. We need affordable housing. We need what they call, I love the little quotes, ultra affordable. We need working class housing. We need it at every level for Californians. Until we do that, there'll be no solution to the transportation crisis. Until we do that, there'll be no solution to the environmental crisis. I have to say that it's such an honor to be here today with 2 councils of the Brotherhood of Carpenters, 1 union, 1 fight. With the Service Employees International Union, another union, 3 unions, 1 fight. The California School Employees Association have stepped up as well. So I believe the coalition we have right now, we can get this done. But we're going to have to fight every single day until that vote and call it what it is. Call the truth. What do we need? I will tell you right now, any of those who don't step up with us shoulder to shoulder, they need to be wary. We are not interested in bowing down and backing up for what we need. Our people are dying every day. The workers, the hundreds of thousands of workers in the non-union construction industry and housing are being threatened every day. We cannot afford to ignore that. We cannot afford to bow to tradition. And if other organizations want to organize, they should join us. If they don't want to organize workers, they need to get out of the way. But we will not wait. We will not wait until we get the solution. We will not wait until every worker has justice and rights on the job. And we will not wait and we will not stop till the working class has affordable housing in this state. We must fight every day. Keep the fight, keep going. We will get it done. Never stop. Such an honor to be here with you today. Thank you for showing up. Let's get it done.
Are you fired up? Are you fired up?
Yeah!
Do you want affordable housing?
Yeah!
When do you want it?
Now!
When do you want it?
Now!
When do you want it?
Now!
Then let's go take it to the Capitol and make sure they know and understand what this bill is going to do for us to make housing, to elevate the working standards for men and women in the trades and those represented by SEIU on making sure that this absolutely becomes a reality. Thank you very much.